Hey everybody, Master Gallengeist here, and this is my 7-year Channelversary video. Well, I'm recording this a couple of days early, but this will be going up pretty much the 7th year that I have been doing YouTube, which is kind of nutty and kind of crazy. I mean, I think we've been doing pretty good with the channel. I mean, I've liked what we've been doing so far, talking about comics, movies, TV shows, video games, everything like that. And I'd like to have seen how it's grown with like discussing and talking with a lot of different people about a lot of different kind of things. So yeah, it's kind of crazy that I've been doing it for 7 years, and it's been enjoyable. Now I will be shifting up my schedule. And I won't be able to do a lot of different kind of things, mainly because I will be mainly shifting to doing most of my videos like on the weekends or whatnot, and then uploading them on certain kind of days or whatnot if it works out. So like if a movie comes out on like on Thursday or Friday, I'll probably have it like linked up and done on like Monday or whatnot, barring any kind of crazy ass circumstances or any kind of things that I would have to do on the weekend because of kind of like some scheduling shifts and everything that's going around. Now, granted, the comic books should stay pretty much on what they've been doing because I kind of like giving a longer kind of lead time on the comic books, because sometimes it takes people a little bit longer to get theirs, and I usually have liked popping them up on Mondays and whatnot, because it just gives people a chance to like get to the comics if they want to, or if they want to wait to see what somebody has to say about it or talk around through it. That's also cool as well. That's kind of why I do my reviews the way I've been doing them, and I like showing them off that I've like introduced that. Now, granted, that has made the comics a little bit comic reviews a little bit longer, and I get that. And some people are just like, I don't want to see the art. What did you think about this thing? I get that. All right. If you've got any kind of suggestions or anything, or just want to tell me what you kind of think of them. But sometimes the art's really kind of cool, and I kind of like to kind of show it off and be like, yeah, this was kind of freaking awesome. Go check it out if you want to. Let's see. Show-wise, there hasn't really been much out. Like, granted, the streaming services have gone fucking nutty balls of shit. I do know Mando Season 3 will be starting, like, on March 1st as well, so that's kind of one to look forward to and go through. I'm still looking into stuff with, like, One Piece and other kind of places to watch anime. So we'll kind of see what goes on with that. Of course, the kind of Marvel movies and other kind of movies as well. Though, granted, with how theaters are going kind of different on their pricing structures, we'll have to see how long that kind of works out. Like, I don't want to wait completely for the streaming, but if they start going the concert venue route, where to get good seats you have to pay more, I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, I get wanting to make it so that way the theaters have a good viable revenue stream. All right, I understand that things like that have to be worked out and everything. I don't agree with that. And if I just wait for like certain kind of Marvel movies or whatnot, or certain any kind of other movies to pop up on a streaming service, that's kind of the route I'd kind of want to go, especially if it's one that looks kind of weird and kind of funky. Like, granted, I used to do kind of weird and kind of funky ones as well, but with how it's like going down and how everything's like, hey, you could go to a movie on Tuesday and be like, yeah, it's kind of cheaper Tuesday, and then by Friday it's like, hey, guess the price, motherfucker. So that's kind of the thing. I don't mind going to theaters. I like going to theaters and seeing the kind of stuff, but we'll see how that kind of works out, because I do have some subscriptions to other kind of streaming services where I could just wait it out and then just be like, all right, this is my opinion for it. Though granted, I have like seen the Marvel movies. Though granted, Phase 4 was kind of like, come on, quality wise, what the fuck? and I actually really enjoyed Ant-Man, and think that it at least provided a stronger kind of showing of what Phase 5 can achieve. So we'll kind of see what kind of goes on with that. I am interested to see, because they have said that they are going to slow down the amount of Marvel things as well. Now, granted, that's just what they've said so far, because they have shifted up and changed out their CEOs to the Bob Iger. Bob Iger? Yeah, he came back. And we're now seeing that they will focus, like, they won't put out as many kind of Marvel shows, so it'll be interesting to see what these Marvel shows kind of work out. I'm interested to see how Secret Invasion kind of goes, Loki Season 2, and any kind of other ones that they do, if they focus more on the quality and make it worth going for, because I think they're stretching their VX, their special effects departments way too much. They're just going, they kind of went buck fucking wild to kind of see what kind of sticks. And I just think that a lot of the Marvel characters, you just got to hammer down, focus, and then really present them pretty well, and it should work out. You know what I mean? I mean, they started the fucking universe with Iron Man, and they actually did a really good job with that. And then we, of course, got Thor, Cap, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Hulk, all of them, and then we've got even more. And granted, there are going to be ones that are in the comics universe that are going to be hard to fucking even translate. But I think if you just sit down, you get a good creative team behind it and work it out, you should be good. And that's the kind of thing that kind of goes on with these comic book movies. And that the funny thing is even in the comic books, you get a shifting of creative teams. You're going to get a shifting of the creative teams also working behind the movies as well. And I don't think a lot, I don't think that it's something that a lot of audiences are very familiar with. Other than if you've seen comic books and you're like, okay, sometimes a run works with you, and then you get a run that completely does not work with a character whatsoever, and you're like, what the fuck am I reading right here? We're going to get that kind of stuff with these comic book movies as well, because sometimes you're going to get a change out with the writers, the directors. There's even more kind of wheels and cogs going on with that. So it's interesting to see that kind of translate into the medium of television and movies and all that. So we'll see how that kind of works out. Also with DC, we'll see how James Gunn and Safran? And Peter Safran, yeah. They laid out a kind of interesting kind of thing for DC's kind of universe, though I do like that they have Superman as the kind of pivotal one that they're going to kind of focus on, at least from what I've read on other kind of things. They do know that he is important. I kind of think that they should be focusing on the big three with him, and kind of going from there, though it's nice that they're going to be doing Swamp Thing. An interesting kind of thing is they're going to try and keep the same actors on movies, TV shows, animated things, and video games, which is going to be very hard to accomplish. I mean, kudos, see if you can do it and see if you can work it out well, but we'll see how this kind of works out. Swamp Thing being a big thing, I'm like, hey, I like Swamp Thing. It's interesting that you're kind of putting it out there as kind of like a big beefy kind of tank that you're going for, so we'll see how that kind of works out. So I've liked what Gunn has done with the Guardians and his involvement with the MCU. So we'll see how he works out with DC. I've not watched his Peacemaker kind of show. I did watch his Suicide Squad, and it was better than most of the kind of stuff that I had seen, but I was still kind of like, what the fuck kind of shit was kind of going. It was mainly in the universe that it was made more than anything that was going on with it, if that makes sense. It's like, with the way DC has shuffled around and everything, it's like, what the fuck? I watched a little bit of Black Adam when it came on HBO or whatnot. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is fucking weird. So hopefully we get more of a cohesive kind of thing. Now, granted, if you liked the old DC universe, I'm sorry. There's a lot of factors of everything, and I do feel for you that they're saying, yeah, your things are done. That always sucks. I don't like it when people get screwed over on that kind of stuff. I am glad that you got the Snyder cut, because that whole situation was fucked up. Even though I didn't like the Snyder cut, I'm like, 4 hours, man? What the? No. Oh, God. But I do, because of that situation and everything that worked out that way, it kind of needed to happen, at least with that. Now, granted, I don't think that everything needs to be kind of like, going like, hey, do the definitive kind of thing. It's like, okay, I can kind of get it if some weird fucking thing goes on. But we'll kind of see how this works out. I kind of am more optimistic. We'll see how this goes. See who they get to be the creative team behind Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, all the rest of them, and how their kind of whole thing pans out. I've got more optimism on it, but you never know. Like, I hold out hope, but I'm always waiting for the thunder fucking shoe to drop and just be like, hey, bitch, guess what? It's like, please, God, no. So I hope that we get less executive meddling. Now, see, that doesn't... When I say it that way, you're probably like, oh, it's all the executive's fault. It's like, nah, sometimes you need an executive to come in and rein someone in. Case in point, Taika Waititi's Thor Ragnarok versus Taika Waititi's Thor Love and Thunder. One was able, they like balanced it out. It's like, we don't know how this dude's kind of going to work in the MCU. And it's like, oh, that worked out well. And then I think they just let him go fuck wild. And it's like, oh, shit. And that's someone who's like a Taika Waititi fan. It's like, okay, I like what they did with What We Do in the Shadow Show, which that's the main one that I'm always going to keep up on. I'm like, yes, can't wait to see those next couple seasons. So, yeah. So, always be like, you kind of have to balance it, because you got certain ones where the executives have no fucking clue of what they're doing, stick their hands in. It's like, hey, we want Spider-Man to do this. Yes, I know I'm going everywhere because Sony is also doing stupid fucking shit. God. Alright. So we'll see how that works out. Yeah, show-wise, we got Mando, What We Do in the Shadows. I might check out certain kind of ones, time permitting, on like certain kind of streaming platforms or whatnot. So we'll see how that kind of goes. Game-wise, I finished Yakuza 6, and I'll be doing like stuff with like Yakuza 6, Yakuza Like a Dragon. I've started Judgment and then Lost Judgment, and that'll be the end of that. And then if there's a game that I have like something to say about, I'll kind of like go for it. But after I'm done with like the Yakuza series, I'm kind of taking a break on that kind of thing. Like, there'll be certain kind of like older series that I'll potentially like get back into, like refresh my memory and then like talk about. But good God, I like, it was an interesting challenge to commit myself to the Yakuza series and see what was so much about it. And good God, it has been a learning experience of how to get through a game, how to let go of some of my completionist kind of tendencies and be like, fuck this, I'm not having fun. And I think this is designed like, what the fuck? Like, it has helped me push through and to understand how I like certain games, how certain game designs I like, and how certain things are just not for me. Like, I don't overall think that the Yakuza series is a bad series. It's got a lot of problems, it's got a lot of issues, and I foresee it being like, maybe I know this sounds weird, but somewhat a biggish kind of niche, but I don't see it getting like giant. Like, I do like that in Like a Dragon and Judgment, at least you have the option for dub and everything like that, which I at least have the option, so that way you can pick if you want Japanese voices with English subtitles or you want English and English subtitles. Player choice. That's always the stuff that I usually like. Now granted, I understand that if you're a smaller studio and you got a smaller budget and you usually just stick to the Japanese, that's fine. That really hasn't been my main a main kind of problem that I've had with the Yakuza series. There's a lot of different other stuff. Basically, story, character components, boss designs, actual game design of what I need to do to go through a game. It's just like, ooh. So, that, I think, when I get through those, I'll be done with that series. Yeah, and then I'll look into certain kind of other ones and just like either ones that I've played and give some ideas on, or give like my perspective on, or certain kind of new ones that I've played and if I feel strongly about it or not. Like, it does put you in a different kind of mindset when you set yourself a challenge like this. Like, there's like these guys doing like a prepare to try going through like Dark Souls, and that's one, like, when I did that, when I went through Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, just as a challenge for myself, I'm like, yeah, I could do it. I didn't have any fun with it. And it's like this, I was like, yeah, I did this, I didn't really have any fun with it. And that's the important kind of thing with a game. Like, with Halo, and even Devil May Cry, like, I was frustrated, like, Halo definitely had fun with. Devil May Cry and, like, Resident Evil, I'm like, yeah, I had more fun with those, even though there was, like, frustrating what the fuck thing going on with it. So, with the game-wise ones, I'm open to suggestions, and I'm also open to, like, other kind of suggestions for other things of, like, how to, like, do the videos or whatnot, or what to talk about, or maybe even doing, like, other kind of parts to, like, bring up certain kind of discussion points or whatnot. There's a lot of kind of stuff that I'd be open to, like, suggestion-wise with games, movies, TV shows, all that kind of stuff. So, kind of, like, do that kind of stuff. And I'm always open to, like, talking about stuff. So just kind of bring up anything in the comments or whatnot. Now, granted, try and keep it on point on what would be certain kind of videos of, like, subject matter or whatnot. But for these, if you've got any kind of ideas or suggestions or whatnot, I'm open to them. Now, granted, my time is going to become more constrained and whatnot, so that'll definitely limit my ability to do certain kind of things, especially since I'm more going to be able to doing this stuff more on the weekends. So we'll see how that kind of works out and everything, and how that kind of goes. But I'm looking forward to, like, doing more stuff with the channel. Pardon me, sorry, getting over a cold. And seeing what kind of awesome comic books, shows, movies, and games that we kind of get and go through. Like, I've been hearing good things about the Dead Space remake. We'll be interested to see what goes on with the Resident Evil 4 remake. All different kind of stuff. Also interested to see what will be coming on to Xbox Game Pass and whatnot. Yeah. So, there's interesting stuff to look forward to this year, and I can't wait to kind of get to it. So, just also, talk to me in the comments and tell me what you think and everything. So I hope you like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.